All right, folks, so welcome. This is the Action Team meeting here. Today is Thursday, May the 28th. Unbelievable. Can't believe we've only got a few days left before the end of May and then the official, I guess, summer months start, right? But folks, this will be a brief meeting, and I'm going to ask Jane to come on a little bit as well. Just the amazing success. And by success, I'm not talking about, so Jane's already got to success. I'm 3 days into this program. And what I'm talking about is the Bob Proctor Thinking into Results program. Okay. It's just been really amazing. And it's quite an investment, but the results that you get from it are amazing. I mean, it's really going to transform the person that you are. I mean, Jane has been smoking since she was 12 years old, and guess what? She's been a day 11 no smoking, and Jane attributes it to I'm telling you, this is not just about helping me improve my business. It's about helping you improve your self-image, because all of us struggle with it. All right, all of us struggle with it. And so what I was talking about a little bit earlier, you know, we all know what we need to do. So let's just talk about, for example, you know, to get to a certain shape or fitness level, all right? We know what we need to do, right? Now, there's not a single person here that doesn't know what needs to get done, right? Now, but we don't do it, you know, most of us, right? We don't do it. And so why don't we do it? And that's where self-image comes in, right? The image that we have of ourselves. Let's talk about, for example, in our business, all right? If I were to go to Lisa, I'm Lisa's newbie person. All right, Lisa, oh my goodness, I'm brand new. I don't know what to do. Lisa will fire off exactly what I got to do. Carlos, you got to do this, and this. Same thing with Jason, same thing with Jane, same thing with Peggy and Austin, you know, and Cheryl, and Austin being the newbie here. He's barely a month into the business, a month and a half maybe. You know, he would tell me exactly what I need to do to have success with this program, but we don't do it, right? We're stuck, and see, it doesn't matter how many scripts we have. It doesn't matter, what we're posting, what we're doing. I mean, all of that comes to play, because that's all important, right? But if you don't have the self-image behind it, you're going to get very little impact from it, right? So Jane will share with you how before she used to post, prior to, and she started this program on May 5th. Prior to this program, she used to post things, and you know, maybe she'd get 7 to 10 comments, likes, whatever. Now she's getting upwards of 70, right? Because she's raised her vibration, she's raised her energy, right? She's raised where she needs to be. And so here's the thing, folks. One of the things that, like, I just started. So I invested in this on Friday, and I started it on Monday. And so far, like what I've had to do so far, there's like 12 lessons in the back, but then there's a lot more, because this is actually, it's a 6-month program. It's an in-depth 6-month program, okay? And so my first assignment is to log in, because you have your own ID and password to the Proctor Gallagher Institute. And so my first step was to complete all 12 lessons right away, all right? And the lessons they're pretty quick, you know, so the video itself, on average, are about 20 minutes. Okay, that's Bob Proctor. So Sandy Gallagher is his partner, right? His business partner. Okay, and she's amazing. She's an amazing corporate attorney, right? And check this out. I mean, she has an amazing story. So very successful corporate attorney. Okay, and she just had that gift. So like she always excelled at everything she did. Sports, grades, you know, law school. I mean, she went to Harvard. I mean, she just always excelled. And to her, it just always came easy, but she could never explain why it always came easy for her. She could never explain it. Okay. And until she went to a seminar for Bob Proctor, and like, man, it just like really hit home. And then she goes on a car trip with her sister, and they're listening to those tapes, and they get to where they're going. Instead of vacationing, they're watching these Bob Proctor DVDs the whole time. You're like, this really hit home. And then this is what she did. She goes, I don't know how, I don't know why, but I just made a decision that Bob Proctor and we're going to partner into something and grow this big, because the world has to know about this. And she had never met Bob Proctor, but she saw him speak, but she didn't know him from Adam, other than when she saw him speak. And guess what happened? Somehow or another, they met, and Bob just loved her, And that's why it's called the Proctor Gallagher Institute. They just struck an awesome, just something about her that Bob just loved. And they struck an awesome relationship, okay? Bob is still the face of this, right? But it's her energy, her ideas, and all this other kind of stuff as well that's going into this and stuff. And that's why it's become the thing that it has, right? But again, she just knew in her heart that she was meant to do this. And she made the decision and it happened. So one of the things that they teach you here is when God places something in your heart, the last thing you need to do is figure out how you're going to do it. All right. We think in reverse. We think, okay, God placed something in my heart. Okay, God, let me see how I'm going to figure. Oh, I'm not going to jump just yet. Let me see how I got to do it. I got to try and figure this out. Man's ways and women's ways are not God's ways. He's going to open doors when they're ready to be opened. Even still, with this course, I'm guilty of this. Okay, what do I mean by that? So I've been joining this course, thinking in the results, for the last 3 months, trying to figure it out, how I'm going to pay for this thing. All right. I finally just made the decision. I don't know how I'm going to pay for it. I'm just going to dive in. And I dove in. All right. And God has been opening doors. All right. So that's how faith works. Right. You know, faith works in that way. So don't try and figure it out. Hey, Toby, got my little buddy here. He wants attention. All right. So one of the things, and Kathleen was in the same situation. So, August, September of last year, she didn't have the money for this thing. She did not have the money for it. Okay. She made, and she put it off, but she just said, you know what? I just got to make the decision. It's when you make the decision. Look, Jason's got his dog there too. When you make the decision, right? When you make the decision, and whatever God puts in your heart, when you make the decision, God will make the way. Isn't that always the case? There's a million stories in the Bible about it. Not a single person knew how God was going to make things happen. Not a single one, right? When God put in his heart to David, like, who is this that's insulting, who is this big, Goliath that's insulting, God and our people, right? He just went with his heart, and he didn't know how he was going to defeat this giant, little teenage boy. How's he going to defeat this 8 foot 9 month monster, right? It happened. God made the way, right? It always happens that way. So my point is, when God puts something in your heart, just follow it. Go with your gut. Go with your intuition. That is the Spirit leading you. You just have to be faithful to it. Okay, that's it. Now, check this out, guys. One of the things that always confused me, this is the lesson that I want to tell you. So I'm on lesson 3 right here. One of the things that always confused me, what Bob spoke about, was he talked about paradigms. Like, paradigm is a key word here. And I would try looking it up in my dictionary, and it still didn't really make sense to me. Like, he says, listen, you can't change anything in your life without changing your paradigm. So what is your paradigm? All right. So your paradigm is simply just a multitude of habits, a set of habits that you have. That's all the paradigm is. I'm like, is that all it is? And why they have to make it so complicated? Just call it habits. No, but it's called paradigm. It's got to be a fancy word, right? It's called paradigm. So your paradigm is just your habits. And if you think about that, because even Zig Ziglar, right? Zig Ziglar always said, if you want to change your future, change your habits. We are a result of our habits. All right. So, for example, if we continue to eat that food that we're not supposed to eat, I'm not saying you got to be perfect, right? Because I love my ice cream and chocolate cake and all that good stuff. But guess what? If I continue to eat that all the time, we know where that's going to lead. Not to mention weight gain, but high glucose level. Exactly, Lisa. Right? High glucose level. High blood pressure. Clogged arteries. And we're not meant to be eating that stuff for long term, right? If I continue to not go to the gym, right? Guess what's going to happen, right? I'm going to start feeling horrible about myself. Self-esteem. All of that stuff happens, right? So what are our habits? If I continue to do fake work, right? What's fake work, right? Fake work is not non-income producing activities. If I continue to do fake work, I'm busy, I'm busy hanging out on Facebook groups. I'm busy doing this, I'm busy doing that, but none of it is actually talking to people. Guess what happens? My results are going to show it. And one of the things that Bob loves to say is, this is biblical, guys, by their fruit, you shall know them. By their fruits, meaning their results, you shall know them. So if your results don't show, look back at your habits on what you did to get you here. All right. So now this is what he talks about. So, okay. So the paradigm, so he says paradigm controls behavior. All right. Paradigm controls behavior, and your behavior affects your results. So you can't change your results unless you change your behavior, unless you change your paradigm, which are your habits. Now, here goes the deep part. He says there's only 2 ways to change your paradigm. Only 2 ways. That's it. Way number 1 is called an impact. What's an impact? In the example, in this thing, in the video, he gives, like, for example, 9/11, right? Well, 9/11, that's an impact. It changed people's lives. Coronavirus, boom, it changed people's lives. Well, how about job loss, right? How about someone that just all of a sudden lost their job? Would that make you all of a sudden say, whoa, wait a second, how am I going to pay my bills? Like it happened to me, right? Like it happened to me June 5th when the company I was with before went out of business. Guess what? Impact. Oh my goodness, I got into massive action mode, right? I was in desperate mode, right? So that's one way, right? This, how about if an illness hits you, right? Let's say all of a sudden, like, you don't want to change your eating habits, right? But all of a sudden now you got cancer or something like that. You're like, is that going to shock you and help make you change? It probably will. I mean, that's an impact. So that's one way that it happens. Here's the second way that it happens. Okay. Remember, he said there's only 2 ways. The second way is repetition. That's it. The second way is repetition. So for example, for those of you that have been watching the Think and Grow Rich trainings with Kathleen, she gives you repetitive exercises. Okay. If you watch Jenna Zwegel's training that she did on Tuesday, she told you in there to download an app and record yourself saying affirmations to yourself. Repetition. Repetition. What are you repeatedly listening to? What are you repeatedly saying to yourself? What are you repeatedly doing? You know, are you having a power hour every day? So Todd Falcone talks about this. He goes, do you know how much of an impact your life would have in your business if you were to just do 1 power hour a day? Just 1 power hour a day. He goes, if you don't want to do 7 days, don't. Do 5 days, right? Can you imagine that, guys? 1 power hour a day, 5 days a week. That's 5 hours. I mean, and let's just say that you're really slow and you only contact, 10 people a day in that hour. I mean, you could realistically do 50 in an hour, right? But let's just say you do 10 people a day, okay? 10 people a day times 5 a day, times 5, right? That's 50 a week. Right? That's 400, right? That's 50 a week. That's 100 a month. That's 200. You're going to get signups from talking to 200 people a month. It's the law. It's the law of, like, it's going to happen without fail, right? So again, how are you going to change your paradigm? By changing your habits, right? And how do you change your habits? It's by changing what you repeatedly do through repetition, right? And you got to be consistent with it. So I found that to be so impactful, right? And folks, here's the thing. Before I get into talking more about this amazing thinking the results, I'm going to open up the mic to Jane. Jane, if you can, tell us, what your experience has been, please. I'd really appreciate that.
It's been totally amazing, life-changing. Everything has just totally flipped the way I look at life, the way I see everything. Carlos is right with the repetition. You have to do things over and over. The biggest thing I found was my self-image. Like you were saying, we all know what we have to do, but we don't do it. And why is it we don't do it? So I had to dig really deep and find out why. The reasons as to why I was afraid, to why I wasn't contacting, why I wasn't connecting with people. I worked with people for 35 years. Why was it something, what was blocking me from talking to these people that I've never spoken to before? That's been my whole life, right? So it's made a huge difference. I spend an hour in the morning and an hour before bed, working on my self-image, raising my vibration, doing all the things that Kathleen tells us to do, and exactly what she says to do. Not some of it, like we say with our mentors as well. Don't do some of what they tell us to do. Do it step by step, exactly what she says to do. An amazing difference with my posts, like Carlos was saying, the energy. I raise my vibration up every morning before I touch anything to do with Facebook or speaking to anybody, and the results has just been 3 times, 4 times what I was getting before. I'm having a hard time going to sleep because I get so excited because of what's happening. I just want to continue. I want to keep going. But yeah, like Carlos said, you have to sleep, right? So 3-4 hours, but I'm up again. And it's just amazing. It's simply amazing. I wish I had found this 20 years ago.
Wow. Now, Jane, can you share with us what your struggles were before you found this, before you found Kathleen and this amazing program? Like, what were your struggles that you had?
Biggest fear I had was reaching out to people and think what they thought of me. That was my biggest struggle as to what people thought of me. I guess again is what I thought of myself. I didn't have enough self-confidence in myself. It was just a matter of going through, finding out what those processes were and working on them. But yeah, my biggest thing was being afraid to talk to people, not having the self-confidence. I know this company is fantastic. The products are fantastic. The people that run the company, everything about it is amazing. Why was it I was afraid to say that, right? And it had to do again with the whole network marketing thing. And I had to get over that. And that was something that was just me, right? So I had to get over that and work on my self-confidence. And the difference is just unbelievable, unbelievable. And this is just the beginning. Right, it's just starting. Right, it's I've got things going, and just little things that are showing up, like she says, money in the bank. All of a sudden, the Canadian government with all this coronavirus, I'm in a good place. My life never changed much, but all of a sudden they've decided, okay, well here we're going to give you this money, and I wake up and there's money in my bank account. I wake up and Instagram, there's 3 people sending me messages wanting links to my business. I've never had that. Right? But the other thing was, she said, stop looking for the results. I was always going, okay, I did this and I did this. And then 15 minutes in, I'm going, okay, why hasn't anybody responded? Why isn't anybody interested? And then I would go, okay, this isn't working. And then I would go off and do it again. So stop looking for results, stop and just do what I know I need to do. And the results show up. Poof.
Automatically, just like that. Wow, it's just amazing, amazing. Now, Jane, so tell us what you do to raise your vibration in the morning or whenever you're
every morning I have my gold card that I read every morning, and then I have a 5-minute visualization. I do 10 things that I'm grateful for now in the present, and 10 things that I am grateful for in the future, but in a present tense. Things that I want, my wants, but in the present tense. And then I go right into that, and then I do my lesson. With my Bob Proctor lesson, I get it done. I've set a timer, 20 minutes. I do my questions so it doesn't burn me out too much. And then I go in from there, and then I start my day. Wow. So everything is all personal development, raising my vibration. The huge thing is, and writing out your statements, your everyday, your I am statements, what you want to be as a human being, how you want to see yourself as a person, even your day. I even write out how I'm going to be for the day. I am going to talk to so many people. I am not going to be fear. I'm going to do this with, with energy and so on and so forth. And I get myself built up, and then I go. And it's, what a difference. What a difference. I got this, I think it was 3 months ago, maybe not quite 3 months ago, from Melody Riba. And she sent it to me, and it's a gratitude journal, right? The secret, it has the day, and then, right, it has your present, and then what you want for future, present and then future. So every day I do morning and night. But when I got it, I thought it was so beautiful, and so this and that. It was like, it didn't feel right to open it up until I started this course. And then that's when I started writing in this. And I thought, okay, there's a reason why it was staring on my desk every day, right? but I wasn't opening it. And I thought, again, that's my self-image. Whether I didn't feel I was worthy enough to open this up because I wasn't going to be grateful enough for what I had. I don't know what it was, but whatever it was, it just didn't feel right. So, and then when I did, and I started writing an S, and it's an amazing thing. Yeah. So it sits right in front of my desk, and then my gold card sits right in front of it like this, so I see the both of them all the time. All the time.
Wow. 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 Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. And then congratulations, you know, that you're 11 days, no smoking, and you don't even have an urge for it or nothing, right? I mean, like you just made a decision, right? You raised your vibration and it's done. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny that the Canadian government, Alberta, if you send them a thing that says you quit smoking, they send you all kinds of little toys that you can use. It's a little twisty thing. You go like this so you keep your hands busy. They sent me stickers of why, my whys. So I write down my whys, and I have a whole thing of why I don't smoke. I do the same thing with my whys for work.
Wow.
Why I'm doing what I do, and I stick them out too as well. I have posters all over my walls right now.
Wow.
It's 1 day delays success. 1 day's delays success by 30 days. So 1 day that I don't do something delays success by 30 days. So I see all these things that I see constantly. And of course, my vision board is huge.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. 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 Woo. Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Congratulations. And you know, folks, and that's what happens when you get someone as a coach and a mentor and a guide to do stuff like that, you know, with you. And you know, there's some sense of accountability there, right? And not only that, I mean, you see yourself progressing. And the thing is that, like, I was noticing in Jane, because we're connected on Instagram, and I would notice the pictures that she would post of herself, and like, what a difference. And even still, like, Jane and I were the first ones here on Zoom before anyone else jumped on. She was glowing. She was glowing. I'm like, she looked way different. I'm like, oh my goodness. So you can see that light in a person, right? You can see that light in a person. Something that's been held dim, or that, you know, like, because I never believe that a light ever goes out, right? It's always, even if it's the dimmest light. But the light was so dim before, right, that she didn't believe that she was God's greatest miracle, right? She didn't believe in the person that she was. And now she realized, you know, like, that she is. She's very special. She's loving, you know, she's everything that God created her to be, you know. So she's just doing awesome. Congratulations, Jane. That is amazing, amazing. You know what? Continued success, you know, in your journey. So that is awesome. And folks, and there's a lot of stories like this, right? So I love Kathleen's story. And if you didn't see her today's video, I mean, she was crying quite a bit on today's training. But I mean, not too long ago, right? August, September, she was in the same situation we're all in here, right? Mountains of debt, you know, didn't have the money to pay for this, wanted to get ahead, you know, hard worker, you know, mom, couple of kids, you know, married, and so on and so forth. And she just made the decision. Remember what I said earlier? You just got to make the decision. If God puts it on your heart, God's going to show you the way, but he's not going to show you the way without you making that decision first, right? And Kathleen has done trainings on decision, right? Decision. The opposite of decision is procrastination, right? So you either decide or you don't, or you just kind of sit on the fence and just kind of wait. But once you make a decision, you know, to whatever it is that you need to make a decision on, you just make it. Don't try and figure it all out, right? Some of us can tend to be overthinkers. Well, this can go wrong and this can go wrong. And what if this and what if that? You know what? Everything could go wrong, but guess what? Everything can also go right. And I mean, and be just perfect, right? So just make the step forward and whatever it is that God called you to do, and just do it. Now, here's the thing. I mean, with Kathleen, if you look at where she's been so she started with the program in September. By December, all right, by December, she was already making multiple 5 figures a month, like $30,000, $40,000 a month. Okay. And in March, and this is on her Bob Proctor side of the business. This is not including her MLM. He says, I get signups all the time. They just come to me. All right. She leads with the Bob Proctor side of things, the Bob Proctor, you know, with value with Bob Proctor, and her Bob Proctor side of the business, okay, In March, she made $80,000 for the month of March. In April, she made over $100,000. It's insane. You know, she paid cash for a Land Rover not too long, just a few weeks ago. Beautiful white Land Rover. You know, and it's just to show you what happens, right? When you get a mentor and you plug into this awesome system. And I'm like, you know, like I said, I'm only 3-4 days into this. I'm like, oh man, this is amazing. I'm already seeing changes in my mindset. This is what this is all about. Changes in your mindset, right? Working on your self-image, changing your paradigm. Because remember, nothing happens. It doesn't matter what you do. If you don't change your self-image, you're going to get the same results. And we're going to continue to focus on the results. You know? Now, Jane hit on something very important here. And what she hit on, and I've mentioned this to many of you. I know I've definitely mentioned it to Lisa and Dawn. But part of a big key to, you know, achieving whatever goal you have for yourself, anything, a relationship, relationship with a loved one, fitness level, financial, business, whatever the case may be. Part of the main thing of achieving whatever it is that you want to achieve. Okay, so let's say, for example, your goal is to be a 25K by convention. All right, so convention's a virtual convention now. Well, what you want to do is raise your vibration to believe that it has already happened, right? Not it's going to happen. I'm gonna be a 25K. No, I am a 25K, right? So you're looking at things in the present tense, right? I am gonna find a significant other. I am going to get healthy. I am gonna get into this fitness level, whatever the case may be. Okay, I'm already healthy. I already have that significant other, right? And we love each other very much, and we have a great relationship, so on and so forth. I already have, you know, that big house with 10 acres. I have it already. So you got to come to that with feeling. The feeling is the secret, all right? The feeling is the secret, which, you know, I've shown you guys this book before, and I know Dawn bought it, and she's reading it. This is a very short book, maybe only about 33 pages long. The Feeling is the Secret by Neville Goddard. All right, so Neville Goddard. So if Bob Proctor is the master at manifesting, Neville Goddard is the grandmaster. All right, Bob Proctor learned from this guy. This guy was born in the early 1900s. He died like in 1981, 1982. The Feeling is the Secret. There's a lot of YouTube videos on him. So just Google Neville, Neville, and then Goddard, Goddard. All right, The Feeling is the Secret. This is a short 30-page book. And then there's another one that I'm reading that he has. It's called Manifesting Miracles. It's another one by Neville Goddard, Manifesting Miracles. Okay, and it all has to do with the feeling as if it already happened. All right, so those of you, for example, that are looking to achieve 5K, example, I would shoot high. All right, I would go like 25K, 50K. I would shoot 100K. I'm already there. I'm already 100K. Right? What is that going to feel like? Right? How many lives have you impacted? How many people have you helped? Right? Because to get to whatever level you would have had to help a lot of people. Right? If you love helping veterans, how many veterans that I help change their life? Right? You love helping homeless people, whatever it is. Right? How many people did you help? That's where it comes from. So these are two awesome books, but it starts with the feeling. So whatever your goal is. All right, so let's talk about MDC. Whatever your goal, I am reading. Yeah, Dawn said she's reading Manifesting Miracles. Awesome, Dawn. You know, so whatever your goal is, okay, you set your own goal. Act as if you already have achieved it, and think about it throughout the day. Just the moment. You don't need a lot. In the morning, raise your vibrations. I'm already a 5K. I'm already a 25K. I'm already a 100K. Raise your vibration. Okay. Same thing, like one of the things that I've been on that app that Jenna mentioned, right? That app that Jenna mentioned, and by the way, if those of you don't know what app she mentioned it's called ThinkUp, ThinkUp, ThinkUp. It's got like orangey kind of background with a white leaf on there, a white stem and a white leaf. So what you do in there is you record your voice, whatever you want to manifest, and then you just play it, and it just plays over and over. So, for example, I've been using Bob Proctor's. Okay, I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. So guess what? That's just playing. That's just playing. That's what we say earlier, guys. Repetition, repetition, repetition. All right. Yes. Awesome. 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 Well, guys, I want to keep this short. It's already about 35 minutes after. Okay. Does anyone have any questions? Anything at all? I know Lisa does. Lisa always has questions. No? No,
hey, Carlos,
Lisa's good?
Carlos,
Yes.
are you going to do this every week? Go over what you did the previous week?
If you would like me to, yes.
I would.
Okay. All right. We'll definitely do that. Absolutely. Thank you, Cheryl. Good idea. Okay, definitely.
I do have a question.
Yeah, I know it. I love it. Go ahead, Lisa.
So Jane's clapping. Thank you, Jane, for the encouragement. So I came in a little bit late, but I was wondering, so you're doing Catherine's course, correct?
Yes,
kind of missed what you signed up for.
Yeah. Okay. So I signed up for a course. It's not Catherine's course. So Catherine is now an official Bob Proctor consultant. So it's Bob Proctor, Sandy Gallagher. It's their course, and the course is called Thinking in the Results.
Oh.
Okay. So the course, the price of the course is $6,500. Okay. So there's a down. See, you just make the decision, and it have it. Right. It was $6,500, but there's a payment plan. Right. Typically, it's $1,900 deposit, and then you just go the rest on payments. Right. She could be flexible with the payment plan, right? But this is the course I'm talking about, right? That's what Jane invested in too, right? So up to now, all I've done is put the deposit down. Where the rest of the money is coming from, I have no idea, but it's coming. It's already here. It's already here, right?
Well, it would be that's awesome. It would be really awesome if we did this where you go over what you learned, just for those of us that would like to start that way for now, where we would just hear a recap of the highlights.
Absolutely.
Very helpful.
Absolutely. We'll definitely do that. Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Thanks.
So good idea. Thank you, Lisa and Cheryl. Brilliant idea. We'll go ahead and do that. Anyone else? Any other questions? Jason? Jason usually does.
Me? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
If I could encourage Carlos to do that, I would just say that we have a lot of confidence in you. When I've seen you teach anything in the past, you have an amazing recall. So if you were going to teach that, I'm just encouraging that because I know that you're a fantastic teacher. When you've taught anything, I've gone back and seen it, like Ray Higdon stuff, and it was spot on. So if you did that, I would trust that you were doing.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I will. Because my goal is I'm already a Bob Proctor consultant, because that's where I'm going with this. Right.
Hey, I believe in you to teach it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. So
Carlos.
You have that magic, Carlos, you know.
I'm sorry?
You have that magic.
Oh, thank you, Jane. Well, so do you. So does everyone here. All you guys do.
Like, I think the things that helped me with my health months ago, it was you that sent me the link to that program. With Kathleen.
Yeah.
You were the same person. You were the one that said, hey, get on this, and boom. And it's like, I thought about that the other day, and it's like, Carlos is like my little magic angel. It's like every time I put it out there that I need something, who is the one that sends it? It's you. So to me, that means something. So I mean, you're in my gratitude, my gratitude every day. So that is huge to recognize that. I had to mention that because like Jason says, you have that way. I think this is where you're supposed to be. You already are a Bob Proctor coach.
Thank you. That touched my heart. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
This is your home.
Yeah, and I really feel that it is. But thank you so much because you know I realized that late in life that God gave me the gift of encouragement. You know, so it comes very natural for me, but it's His gift that He gave me. So I you know, it's just how I'm wired, and that's it. So I got to use it for His glory. You know, and that's it. So the more I do that, the more I feel better about myself. That's why, you know, like I'm working longer hours than I ever did in corporate America. I mean, I started my day at 8 o'clock today, and I still got another meeting with Andre Popa after this at 10 o'clock Chicago time. Yeah, he wants me to help him. He wants me to help him close one of his Hispanic guys. But but I don't feel like I'm not tired. Like I'm not tired. It feels amazing because when you're aligned with God, like you're working for Him. Like I don't have time to be tired. Like you, Jane. Like I don't have time to be tired. Right? It's like you're reborn. It's like you're born again. Right? You're born again. You're a new person. You're a new creation. Right? And that's what this is all about. And I love the fact that Bob Proctor approaches it, too, from a biblical, godly angle. And so I love that in him. It's just amazing. Yeah, folks. So we'll start meeting weekly. We'll have these meetings, and if not weekly, definitely every 2 weeks. But we'll try initially weekly, and I'll just definitely teach what I'm learning. Okay, we'll go from there. But all of you guys are special, and you guys all have this. It's all in you. We just got to get it out, right? Slowly but surely. And that's what these exercises are for. Remember what I said earlier. You're not going to change anything in your life until you change your paradigm, right? Which are your habits, right? And you're not going to change your habits until you change your self-image. And there's only 2 ways to change your self-image, right? A shock, which I hope that doesn't happen to anyone, right? Because a shock like that, you're like forced, like, oh my goodness, I lost my job. Let me get to work on my MDC business now, right? Like, no, that's not good, right? Or do it voluntarily through repetition. What are you doing every single day, right? If you do these little things, right, every single day, like Jane's doing, like I'm doing, right? And again, just gratitude journal. Like so Jane already gave us a hint. Write 5 things that you're happy for that you have now, and 5 things that you want to receive, but act as if you already received them in the present tense. So that's your assignment, guys. That's your assignment for you. I'm going to give you just that one assignment. Your own thing, whatever you want. 5 things, write them down tonight. 5 things that you're grateful for. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for God. I'm grateful for whatever, okay? Whatever you may be. 5 things that you're grateful for that you already have, right? Many of us are healthy. Thank God that we're healthy, right? So, health is wealth, right? So 5 things that you're grateful for, and 5 things that you want, right? That you want, right? And guys, here's the thing. So, here's another thing that I learned. So we talked about kind of 3 goal setting, and I did a Facebook Live on this the other day. He talked about goal setting, right? So your goal setting, there's really 3 kinds of goals, right? So a goal is like a lateral goal. It's not really no growth. Like for example, hey, if you already have, Bob Proctor gives the example of a blue Pontiac, right? If I ask you what your goal is, he's like, well, I want to get another car. Okay, great. Well, what kind of car do you want to get? Well, I want to get a blue Pontiac. Well, great. Pontiac's good. I own the Pontiac. Nothing wrong with Pontiac. Well, great. Well, what do you have now? Well, I got a Pontiac. Well, okay, well, that's fine if that's what you want, but that's not a goal. That's like a lateral move, right? That's not a goal, right? Because that's not, the point of a goal is to help you get really uncomfortable, right? So that's goal, that's A. Goal, a type B goal is that you want to, you put something out there, a goal that you think you can achieve. All right, a goal that you think you can achieve, right? He says, well, that's a little better, but that's not really stretching you. He goes, what you want is fantasy. What you want, he goes, a true goal is fantasy. So what's fantasy? Oh my goodness. I want to be a super affiliate. I want to be a master affiliate. That's fantasy for me, right? I'm going to be a master affiliate, right? That's really stretching yourself, right? And the key to this is act as if I already did, but you want to set a goal for yourself that's really like so much fantasy that it makes you uncomfortable, right? And that is a goal. That is a true goal. So does that make sense, guys? All right. All right, cool. So what I want you to do, guys, remember what's your assignment? 5 things that you're already grateful for, and 5 things that you want. Remember I said fantasy, wish for. What do you really want? Stretch yourself. And that should be part of your 5 things, but act like Jane said, like if it's already happened in the present tense. That's the key. Cool? All right, and you know what I would like, guys, if you want? share them in a group if you're okay with it. If you're open enough, why don't you share them in a group? Like just say, hey guys, these are my 5 gratitude of what I'm grateful for now, and this is what I'm grateful for that's about to happen or has happened, right? So put that in the group. Cool.
Carlos, when you said you had, when you were sharing this in your live, I said, gosh, I've already learned so much. I thought a beagle was a cute little hunting dog and a seagull was those birds at the beach.
Jason. Hilarious, Jason.
I've learned so much from you.
Oh, thank you, Jason. Likewise. I learned from you guys. I learned from you guys as well. So yeah, so guys, listen, you guys are all special. You're God's creation. You guys have infinite potential, infinite possibilities, infinite strength, infinite wisdom. Let's just get it out. Let's get it out through working on your self-image through repetition. All right. All right, guys. If there's no other questions, I love you. I believe in you. I'm gonna get this up to YouTube a little later tonight or tomorrow morning, and then I'll share it out to the group so people can watch it. But yeah, so I love your idea. Cheryl, Lisa, and Jason, let's move forward from now every week, and we'll do some teaching. And we'll kind of keep this time. We'll do Thursdays at 9 Eastern. Is that good for you guys? Does that work?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Excellent. Awesome, guys. Love you guys.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Love you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Love you,
Thanks,
Lisa.
Carlos.
Love you,
Bye.
Jay.
Hi,
Love
Carlos.
you, Jason. Love you, Peggy. Love you,
Bye.
Don. Love you, Cheryl.
Love you all. Thank you.
And love you, Lois. Love you guys. All right,
Thank you guys. Love you all.
Bye.
Bye, Thank you. Carlos.
You're welcome, guys. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. All right,
Bye.
bye. Bye.